Hey guys, it's me, Lil Ninja, back with another video, and today we're doing What If Deku Had Kevin 11's powers. And this is another new what if that I think I should have done a long time ago, back when I was still making the what if Deku had the Omnitrix. And I'm gonna restart that later, but not right now. I'll do part I don't know which part is coming out, but it's gonna be soon. And there's gonna be a lot more what ifs coming out in the summer. I hope you will watch the summer videos more than you've watched these videos. It just makes more sense. So yeah. Without further ado, I think we should get into this great what if about an Osmosian inside of the universe of MHA, My Hero Academia. Without further ado, let's get into the video. It's Little Ninja time. This time we start off at the portion of the start of the anime, with Izuku pretty much being the same from when he was 4 years old and was pronounced corpus. With this, Izuku would give up on his dreams of being a hero, but them still being there a little tiny bit just needs a spark to make it fly. In this one, Izuku didn't take the bridge. He would have just taken his time getting to his house, and of course with this, All Might gave his quote to Mirio just to clear that up, because I don't really see it going to anybody else besides Mirio. So yeah. Izuku with the past few weeks be feeling down, trying to figure out what school will he be going to if he's not going to UA. Izuku, of course, would go outside thinking that he might as well just be fit if he wants to become a police officer, which he thinks would be the closest thing to becoming a hero. With 2 weeks passing, Izuku would find something out about his heritage. Inko would tell him that Izuku isn't just a regular person, he's half Osmosian. Part Osmosian, with his father being the infamous Kevin 11. And Izuku would be surprised to hear this, because his mother always said that his father's name was Hisashi Midoriya, but no, it's actually Kevin 11, and he's Izuku 11. But he'll still keep his Izuku Midoriya name. And he's part alien? What kind of sense does that make? Inko began to tell him that Kevin came from a different universe. A universe where aliens existed, and there's possibly aliens that are already inside of this universe as well. Some aliens crossed over while others stayed inside of their regular universe. Kevin was one of those aliens, and which means that you are part Osmosian. With this, Izuku would ask Inko what his powers would be. Inko would say simple: he can absorb things. Matter, DNA, energy. He can absorb anything. And copy its structure or powers. Izuku thinking this, he could have absorbed Bakugo's powers and just told him he could have been more confident. Izuku would use the rest of the time to try and unlock his powers, with him unlocking them in 1 more week. With this, the rest of the months that he had would go to him training with his powers, eventually finding that he could shape himself once he had absorbed rock to any type of material, solid material. He could absorb it and shape his body into something different, a sword, a mallet, and basically he is figuring out his powers. He would realize when his mother said that he could absorb pretty much anything. He would start to absorb other people's quirks and would start testing them out, seeing that if he got his hands on Bakugo, he could use a powerful quirk. Izuku would think this quirk is very powerful and very good, but if he wanted to use this to its fullest extent, he would need to absorb something permanently, or have materials on him at all the time. With this, the end of the months would be coming soon. Inko would give his ball bearings, which, inside of Alien Force, Gwen did the same thing. But the thing is, here, these basically, what I'm saying is, Kevin's powers basically never stayed consistent. There's this episode where he couldn't absorb small pieces and become the full thing, but then in other episodes, like when he was forced to absorb Diamond Head's pieces, Titanite I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It was one little tiny piece of Titanite, and he absorbed it, and he became his full armor. So I'm not seeing the reason why Izuku can't do the same, because basically the ball bearings were a little bit smaller, but not to the point where what Kevin would say what he needs to make his full armor. So yeah. With this, Inko would have gave Izuku batteries. Inko would have gave Izuku rechargeable batteries, which are for him to absorb, just to let you know, so that he has electric powers, and ball bearings, which help him absorb different things. It cost her a lot of money to do this, but she wants Izuku to follow his dreams. And with the ball bearings, he could become diamond to metal to basically any solid thing that you can think of, even glass. But I don't know why he would transform into glass. I think that would kind of be stupid. So yeah, Izuku would use these to his advantage when inside of the entrance exams, but we haven't gotten there yet. So let's take a time skip and get to the entrance exams. While Izuku is walking in, he is more confident than usual. More confident than Ken. And having worked on his power for the months that he needed and found out many things, he is a lot stronger than how everyone would see. Izuku would walk in and would ace the test. His mother would make sure that he always kept up to speed with his studies. And with this, Izuku would be ready for the practical portion of the exams, getting found out by Bakugo, but Bakugo getting told off to basically get out of Izuku's way. Of course, with this, the instructors would begin to look over the papers, and they would see that Izuku is quirkless. They would try to get him out of there until he absorbed a ball bearing and would turn his hand into a hammer. Them thinking that it's probably a quirk, until Izuku would tell them it's not a quirk. He had to learn that the hard way, because he got himself tested again and he figured out it wasn't a quirk. And some people would think that he would keep the secret, but I don't think that he would keep the secret, since there's nothing to hide. His dad was half alien, he's part alien, so that's basically all he has to say. With this, UA would start a study on aliens, basically. So Izuku would walk up to the gate and get ready to run off, making sure that he would be able to get there fast. Izuku absorbing batteries, making him a lot faster. Basically faster than Ida. Very much faster than Ida. Izuku would run and would be, I say, as fast as the Flash. I'm giving him this ability because when you think of electricity, you think it's fast. So yeah, it's good. He's fast, very fast. Faster than Ida, like I already said. And he would be basically a yellow Flash going through every robot, basically absorbing its electricity and then just moving to the next one, basically deactivating it, making sure that he takes out all the robots that he comes across. At this point, Izuku is at 50 robots, and he got 50 robots with 60 villain points. And Izuku is just keep going, making sure to knock all the robots out until he would suddenly stop, and Izuku would realize his electric powers ran out, since he didn't have that much to absorb. I'm saying this because this is energy, not matter, so, I'm not gonna get into the technological things of Osmosian powers. I'm just saying that it's electricity, not matter, so yeah. Izuku would try to get another battery and absorb it, but it was out of juice, so he couldn't absorb the electricity. He would absorb Diamond and would start bashing in robots again. But unfortunately, there would be a thud, and the thud would get louder and closer to Izuku. It getting closer, closer, and closer, until Izuku could see what is making that big noise, and it would be the 0-pointer. Izuku would want to run back, but not really have a choice, seeing that a girl is stuck under some rubble and would get crushed by the robot if he didn't do something. Izuku would find 3 ball bearings and a big battery, like a bigger battery that he was using, the one that he was going to save up, but he had decided to use it anyway. This battery has basically 10 times the juice that the other batteries had. He would absorb the 3 ball bearings, which would be diamond, rubber, and metal, and then finally absorbing the electricity from the big battery. He would zip around, being faster, stronger, and more powerful than ever, blasting through the robot like it's nothing with his electric powers while going through the robot and basically making it turn into rubble. Last bit of energy he had, he would save Uraka, which, is the girl under the rubble. I'm pretty sure everyone would realize that. And he would get her to Recovery Girl with her leg being, her ankle being broken, with Recovery Girl healing her and sending her off, with Izuku finishing his test with about 63 villain points and I'll give him 30 hero points, because he not only stopped the 0-pointer, because it could have crushed anyone if it kept going. He basically gave everyone he basically saved everyone from getting crushed by the 0-pointer, because that thing was fast. And the second thing is, he saved Uraka, which already gave him 10 hero points. So with this, he has 100 points altogether, being the top score. He would be a shoo-in to UA and Class 1A, making him one of the most powerful students in the building with his Osmosian powers. Izuku, after that, would charge up his batteries and would start cleaning his ball bearings, and would thank his mother for telling him this before he gave up on being a hero. And Izuku was almost very close to giving up to being a hero. So basically, if his mother didn't tell him that, then everything would be a lot different. So Izuku would get ready for his new class and would make it into UA and would get into Class 1A, with Bakugo rushing over to him, asking how did he even make it into Class 1A, let alone UA at all. Like, seriously, Bakugo still thinks that Deku is quirkless. Deku then grabs a ball bearing and then absorbs it and was about to slam Bakugo in his head until Aizawa came and stopped them. At this point, Izuku's personality is kind of like Kevin's, kind of, but also his own personality at the same time. So really, Izuku is Kevin, but really he's not Kevin at the same time. Izuku was contemplating to just bash his head in, even though Aizawa was right there, but he decided against it, thinking that a hero does not kill, so he probably shouldn't do that anyway. Izuku would then stop absorbing the ball bearing and would transform back to normal, and Aizawa would tell the students to quiet down. As this happened, Aizawa would give them their gym clothes and would tell them to go to testing site E. With this, Izuku would be the first one there, while everyone else would be kind of late because they rushed and couldn't find the changing rooms. While Izuku noticed that he had a map inside of his pocket, which all of them did, but they didn't check. So yeah, Izuku being the first one to he would be the first one to throw the ball. Izuku would think, how would he do this? And then Izuku would look at Bakugo and would tell him to get over here. Bakugo, still having a bone to pick with Izuku, he would basically make sure to do that. Izuku would then tap Bakugo's hair and then absorb it. And with that, Izuku would basically, Izuku's hair would go blonde, and he would test his new powers, and explosions would come out of his hands. With that, Izuku would be smirking. With this, Izuku has just had this chaotic smirk on his head. With Izuku would grab the ball and would chuck that thing with explosions. But not only that, he would keep throwing explosions at it, making it go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, but until he couldn't anymore, and then his exhaustion would kick in and his arms would hurt, as everyone knows the repercussions of using Bakugo's cork. If you had that cork, it would hurt a lot. Izuku would then stop and his hair would go back to green, with his smirk going back into a regular grin. With that, Aizawa would show the meters, and it would say 9999999, and it would keep going, basically making it infinite. Aizawa stating this, everyone would get pumped up, and Mina was about to say, we should start, this is going to be so much fun, but Izuku, knowing exactly what she was going to say as he read up on Aizawa, Izuku would have absorbed electricity, dashed over there, and shut her mouth. With this, I forgot her name. Wait a minute, let me go check. Mina, I just remembered that. Mina would decide, Mina would have a blush on her face, and you guys know what that means. It's Mina x Izuku. So, yeah, that's the ship for today. Well, that's the ship for this what if. With this, Izuku would have made sure that Aizawa would have not threatened them to get expelled. Instead, that wouldn't happen, with Aizawa thinking that they're serious. And so, yeah, with this, the things would go to regular, to canon, but with one change, Izuku being on top with all of them. Basically, his cork is the best for this, as he can just absorb other corks by touching them, and then just blitzing past them. Because with this, Izuku being more human than Osmosian, his body is prepared for the cork, since he doesn't have a cork. with that, Izuku would be, Izuku's version of the quirk would be more powerful than the original. So, yeah. With this is where I'm going to leave it off for now. I hope you liked the video, and I hope that you watch this What If more, and show this to your friends so that they could watch What Ifs, because you don't know, they might like What Ifs, my regular saying on this channel. Without further ado, Little Ninja out.